If you're thinking of selling your house, please be very careful of some real estate agents, not all, some real estate agents who are still promising you, like 20, 30 offers on your house. Hey, I sold this house in January with 30 offers. I can do the same for you. And you get like $300,000 over asking, because that is simply not going to happen. Now, I'm not saying multiple offers are still not going on, because they are. You can tell this video is geared towards home sellers who might be thinking of selling the house now, or waiting a couple of months to see if the market has recovered, or maybe not sell at all, because sometimes it makes sense just not to sell, just sit on it. Now, I know I'm probably shooting myself in the foot here, because as a salesman, you never tell a client not to put their house up for sale. That's like the number one rule. But I think it's just better to be upfront, right from the beginning, and then avoid disappointment later, keep a clear conscience, and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's get started. The things we're going to cover in this video, geared towards home sellers, are how many listings are on the market right now. So that's technically your competition, in case you guys are thinking of selling. So it's always good to know what you're competing with. Price changes. How many listings were not getting the price that they were looking for, so they've had to drop their price. So I think you'll be pretty kind of shocked at this number here. Days on market. That's always good to know, like how long is the house going to take to sell. In case you guys are planning on moving, you want to know how long is it going to take, so you can plan accordingly. Number of sales. I'm going to compare March to April. Average prices. Always good to know that. And it is not all doom and gloom. The market hasn't died completely. There is some good news for the sellers. So if you guys stick around till the end, there is some good news for you guys. Okay, so just so the video is not like 9 hours long, I'm just going to focus on these 5 markets: Mississauga, Brampton, Burlington, Oakville, and Milton. In case there's any other market you guys want to see covered, leave a comment and I'll try to get to that. Okay. And as always, the source is the Toronto Real Estate Board. These are not my numbers. These are just straight from the Toronto Real Estate Board. I do realize Burlington, Oakville has their own board, so some listings end up there. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to focus on the Toronto Real Estate Board stats. Okay, so with that out of the way, this is how many listings are currently on the market. This is nothing unusual. Like spring is always busy, so this is not a bad number. It should be high. But these two numbers you guys want to focus on. Days on market. Out of all these listings, almost half in each city, almost half of them are sitting on the market for longer than 2 weeks. Now, in a normal market, if you went back to just like a few years ago, it's normal for a listing to take 2, 3, 4 weeks to sell. But just because we've been dealing with such a crazy market, especially this winter, where everything was selling in 3, 4 days, I think it's good to know this number because it shows you which way the market's heading. These numbers were very low just in the winter. Price changes were almost non-existent in this winter because everything was selling in, like less than a week, so there was no reason to drop the price. So this stat here shows that out of all these listings here available, this many were not getting the price that they were looking for, so they've had to drop their price to meet, today's market value. So keep these numbers in mind when you're talking to real estate agents in terms of like interviewing them to list your house, because it's always good to be prepared, in case somebody else is giving you different numbers. Number of sales. I compared it from March to April because I wanted to see like the immediate impact of the rate hike that happened a few weeks ago. I just wanted to see immediately how it is impacted. And you can see for every single city, the market was down. This is the sales activity from minus 20% to minus 34% in some cases. Okay, so that's the number of sales. Average prices, you are probably going to be shocked at this one. Every single market is down from January to April. January, February is kind of where the market peaked, in my opinion. And if you compare it from January prices to April prices, every single market is down. Like Brampton's down minus 177. Mississauga's down almost $200,000. Milton down, but not as bad as the others, about $80,000. Okay, so that's detached average prices. Now, so this one showed from January to April, but if you guys want to see month by month and the decline, I prepared this state-of-the-art chart. It took me a while to prepare this one. But even here, you can see month by month, January, March, February, March, April, each market is down. Steady decline for each single one. Brampton is in purple. Okay. Average prices of condos. Same thing here. January to April. It's not like the end of the world, but I will show you. So that's from January to April. But if you guys want to see month by month, so when I compared January to April, some of the markets were actually up, but if you compare them from March to April, each market's down. So like that's Oakville, Milton is in light gray, Brampton's in purple, Mississauga's in blue. So each market is still down if you compare to just last month. Now, as promised, there is some good news. Well, first of all, like, why am I showing you all these stats, like this kind of stuff? Like, why am I showing you guys all this? It's not that I'm trying to like throw bad news in your face. It's nothing like that. It's just I've seen it before. I've been around a long time. Unfortunately, some agents, not all, some agents, what they'll do is just to get the listing, they'll just quote you any price. You know, they'll be like, yeah, the market's crazy busy still. I got this house sold. We sold for 300,000 over asking just this winter. Yeah, that might be true. That would have likely happened. But it's like I mentioned here, and I supported it with stats. That's not the case anymore. So sometimes what they'll do is just to get the listing, they'll just quote you any price because they just want to lock you up in the contract. And I think it's kind of sleazy, in my opinion. I don't think it's fair to the client. You're just setting them up for, a nasty relationship in the future. So I don't think that should be the way you conduct business. But I mean, to each his own. In case you're getting like ridiculous numbers that seem kind of too good to be true, please just have these numbers. I'm not saying you have to list with me, nothing like that, but just have these numbers in hand. So when you're talking to a couple of different agents, make sure the numbers are very close to these numbers because this is straight from the real estate board. These are not my numbers. Okay, so that's the reason for giving you guys all this stuff. I know it sounds like a lot of bad news, but there is some good news for sellers. Now, like I said before, if you compare everything to this winter, yes, it is bad news. You are probably not going to get the prices you got in this winter. You're probably not going to sell as fast as you could have in this winter. But homes are still selling. It's still a busy market. It's just not like the crazy circus we've been seeing for the past few months. So homes are still selling. If your house shows well, you price it right, and you've done good marketing on it, the house will sell. And the prices are still quite a bit higher than 2021 of April. So I'm going to show you guys those prices right now. So if you compare everything to this winter, yes, there is regret. Why didn't I sell 3-4 months ago? But that's like the regret of not buying Bitcoin at the right price, buying Dogecoin too late. Believe me, I know all about that stuff. So there is regret. There's always going to be that kind of regret. But if you want to look at the positive, the numbers are still quite a bit higher compared to April 2021. This is what they were selling for. These are detached average prices. This is what they were selling for back in April of last year. These are the prices now, and look at the jump. That's a lot of money if you bought, in 2020, 2021, that's a lot of equity to gain in 1 year. Condos, same thing. Only Oakville is down, but every single other market, look at Brampton. Like to make $150,000 profit on a condo in Brampton in 1 year, that's insane. I've been around a while, and I remember we used to sell condos for $150 in Brampton. Like condos around the Brampton City Center, they were selling for less than $150. So, like that's profit in 1 year. So that's the positive way of looking at it. Like just compare to 1 year ago, not compare to 3 months ago. Okay, I also put this chart together. This is a 10-year average price trend. You can see every single market is up. Even if you go to 2020, like that's a huge jump. Every single market is up. Condos, same thing. Every single market's up. Oakville's a bit all over the place because they do have like $1 million condos. So if like five sell in 1 month, it kind of screws up the average prices. Sorry if you hear that. That is construction next door. There's nothing I can do about that. I apologize. But we're almost done. So that is pretty much it. That's all the stats that I could gather up. And these are, I felt they were kind of important if you're thinking of selling your house. Good to know. Now, my thoughts on bidding wars. You can still get bidding wars. And, obviously, if you price anything low enough, you will get multiple offers on it. I'm not telling you to go do bidding wars. I'm not telling you not to. Whoever you talk to, because each market is a little bit different. Even within the city, there's like 20 different markets. And there's going to be certain markets that are always in demand. So I can't tell you, yeah, you do a bidding war, you get, 30 offers. Chances are low compared to winter. But like I said, each market's a little bit different, even within each city. Um, Bit of a sales pitch. I am a real estate agent. If you guys need help buying or selling, realtorvic.ca. And that's it. No long sales pitch. And I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.